1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitar Tricks, and in this video I want to share with you how to play the timeless Christmas song melody, Deck the Halls. So what's great about this melody is it just sits in the major scale and it uses all the notes of the major scale. It really just outlines that scale in a very melodic way. So it's kind of like an exercise. I find this melody like a major scale exercise, but it sounds really great and we all love it, right? It's a holiday time classic. So one thing that you could do to get to know your major scales is move a different melody around in different shapes of the major scale. So in that intro, you saw me play it in 3 different patterns of the C major scale. I was playing it in the key of C. Now, if you get to know the patterns in one key, you know the patterns in any key because all the patterns are movable throughout all the keys. You just slide them around. You just have to know where they start, right? Where's your root notes, basically. Now, I figured out the melody by ear, and I suggest you do the same thing. If you have this song in your head from the time that you've been a child, that is the perfect song to try to transcribe without looking up the tab, right? So the process here is learn a major scale position and then try to find the notes of the melody in that major scale. So I'm going to kind of guide you along this ear training process, and then we're going to also kind of investigate what are the features of this melody? Why does it sound the way it does? What are the intervals? That kind of thing. Also, I encourage you to make your own looper arrangement. I just put the chords down, simple open chords. That gave me a beat, that gave me some harmony, and then I played on top. So it's one thing to just kind of play a melody on your own and kind of out of time. It's another thing to lock in with a beat and to lock in with another bandmate, which in this case is yourself if you're doing the looper thing. So before we get into the lesson, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you get all of the latest and greatest content from Guitar Tricks. And if you want to be notified of any new lesson, be sure to also tap that bell and let us know in the comments any new lessons that you'd like to see on the channel. That's where we're always looking for ideas. All right, let's get into it. So I chose to play it in the key of C. You could play it in any key. I've seen it online, key of C, key of G, key of D, easy open chords. It really depends on who's singing it, right? That's how you would decide, or which chords you can and can't play. But the only tough chord really here is an F. So real quickly, the chord progression goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, C, G, C, C, G, C, 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 G, C, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, A minor, D, G, C, C, F, C, C, G, C. And that's it. Now you will see some variations on the chords. And if you're wondering, well, how is there multiple sets of right chords? So you might have heard the term reharmonization. Reharmonization means take a melody and create new chords. So there's always multiple ways that you could harmonize a melody, and there's really no right or wrong way. The most standard way is to choose chords that match what's happening in the melody, meaning that the notes in the melody are part of the chord. And a lot of times a melody implies a chord. So like when it goes fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, that works over the F chord because that fa la la la, fa la la la, that's a note in the F chord that happens to be the major third. So that note, fa la la la, then we go to la, and that note is the fifth of the C chord. La, fa la 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 la, la la la. Now that note, la, that's the note D, la, so that's the fifth of the G, la. So, I chose a very straightforward chord arrangement. Okay, now getting to the melody, let's start in this scale pattern, C major, pattern 1. And let's play it in the higher octave. So let's think that we're starting here on this C with the pinky. So now, when I play this first chord, try to hear how this melody starts. Deck the halls, deck. Starts on the note deck. So let's see what note that is. That's the fifth note in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deck. Then let's listen to the contour. Deck the halls with bells. Literally goes straight down the scale. Deck the halls with boughs, right? If I'm saying the words wrong, I apologize. I learned this a lot of times. Songs I learned as a child, I just create words because as a child I wasn't really thinking about the meaning. It was just a sound, right? Like happy birthday, I still say birthday. Birthday, I leave out the D because that's how I sang it as a child. So we start on the fifth note and then go straight down the scale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we bounce back. Da 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 da. Right? Try to see that contour. Da 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 da. Right? So the way that I see it is by knowing a scale pattern, you greatly increase the likelihood of hitting the right note. You're isolating 7 notes out of a possible 12. So what is that, like 60%? Something like that. So you're taking away 40% of the wrong notes. And so you're really increasing your likelihood of hitting the right notes. Because I know that this is in the key of C, so I could trust that all those notes are going to be in that scale. That's not true of every song. Sometimes we leave the key. But this is a very simple song. We don't leave the key. So after we come down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Right? This is a whole different way of learning a song than tab. Now we're thinking about listening, melodic contour, the actual scale, the key, the intervals of the key. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 1. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Let's see how that sounds. Cool, right? Do 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 do. So that's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Then do da da do da 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 da. See if you could sing it. See if you could hum it. Not to be a singer, just to help you create the connection between here and here. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1, 1, 7, 1. Now, anytime you hear 1-7-1, that usually means the 1 chord, the 5 chord, the 1 chord, in this case C, G, C, because in the G major chord, the note B, which is the third of the G major chord, is that leading tone back to the tonic, right? It's a half step down. That's why that 5 chord has such a strong pull back to the 1 chord. 1, 5, 1, and then that's. All right, so that's the first section. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1. Then it repeats. Now, if you look at my fingers, I'm staying in 7th position. That means anything on the 7th fret gets my index finger. Anything on the 8th fret gets my middle finger. 9th fret, ring finger. 10th fret, pinky. Right? And I got my knuckle line is kind of parallel to the neck so that my fingers just kind of live in each fret and they're not kind of flopping all over the place. Okay, then we have don we now our gay apparel. So let's think about the contour. Da, 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 da. You hear that repeat note? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Keeps coming back to that da. Da, 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 da. Right? So we start on scale degree 2. Da, 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 da. So that's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Right? Sing it and then try to play it. Da, find the starting note. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da. Right? So that's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Right? Then the climax of that part. So after then we just go straight up the scale from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, then back down. 7, 6, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5. Awesome, right? Then we go back to where we started, which was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. But now the ending is slightly different. Da 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 do. Da 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 da. Straight down the scale. 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I've listed out the intervals of this melody. You have the chords. We learned it in first position. Now, like you saw me do in the intro, you can apply this to different positions on the fretboard. You could use this as an exercise. You can play it slow to start, work on your speed, work on your technique. The best way to bring scales to life is to learn melodies within the scales, not to just play scales. Scales are cool. They could be musical in the right context, but if you're just going up and down scales, there's no music there, right? The music is in the melodies. So when we can make a connection between great melodies and scales, we're really getting somewhere. Now, you also saw me in the intro add slides, a little bit of vibrato. Those are other things that'll make it sound more like you're singing that you could also do. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great holiday. If you want to learn more about playing guitar, head over to guitartricks.com. Happy playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.